Hi, class. You've come to the last module for the course. I'll have uh, one more discussion board after this for some information. But basically, you've taken at least 10 of the assessments and you've completed your discussion boards. Your discussion boards so far, from the point of this recording, have been just excellent of those that you have been involved in. Um, and it's exciting to see how your thoughts have gone into place. I'm really, really impressed by a lot of your work. So let's talk about medical ethics. Important pieces as we examine the sociology of health, care, and medicine. Um, it's interesting how ethics is often considered a topic just for philosophy. I remember in proposing this course and saying that we had to finish up the course and addressing ethics, that the philosophy chair at that time was saying that we had no right to talk about ethics, but ethics belong to everyone. And understanding how important they are really comes into place as we start to look at it. There's so many things ethically that sociology starts to study. And when we look at some of those, it's the practice of medicine, the selling of organs, the effect on society. So, for this particular chapter, I'm not going to go through the PowerPoints with you. You can easily see how they tie together and the issues of ethics come into place. But thinking about research in general and why ethics are so important, we step back to some of the issues that occurred during World War II, and we look at the issues and the trials that were done on people. Therefore, we come together from the Nuremberg trials to develop the Nuremberg Code. Linked to this is also the requirement of how we do research. Sorry about that, that we have developed IRB boards within our country to do any type of research. At any place that receives federal funding has to have an IRB board. So when research is done on campus, such as even my research on students' involvement with their healthcare professional, it has to go through an internal review board to make sure that we are doing no harm. There were significant issues in the past related to harming populations. As your book talks about the introduction of disease at Willowbrook. And by the way, if you haven't seen the clips on Willowbrook, or if I didn't include them under mental health, you will understand how powerful it is that this was a population that was not capable of making the decision, and we introduce hepatitis to study them in that process, or followed it. The Tuskegee study, which we could have cured the men involved in the study of syphilis, but we instead watched the process. So all of these things play into that. For this module, you'll see that you have a lot of quick videos to look at. So the medical ethics, the history of medical ethics, just a little quick course trailer and some information from the government on medical ethics. And then I'm going to ask you to watch two other videos. The one is longer than the other, but the one is exposing the black market for human organs. Just some updates of this occurring. By the way, there is a black market also in this country, even though this is dealing with outside of the United States. There are places in Mexico that sell to the United States. There are places across the world that sell to the United States, but we also sell organs here in a very underground manner. It's like the sweatshops that we don't always admit exist in our country. And finally, the right to die. Is it ethically correct? And now we can look at the changing society as we look at the right to die, and states that allow for people to have assisted suicide. This gives you a lot to think about as you close up this course. The growth of the bioethics movement is really out there and trying to understand this, and yet we see this legal issues coming back and forth on a regular basis, and the protection that comes into place. I hope you find this particular piece very interesting. The majority of books on this course do not include this piece, but I think it's important for us to look at it sociologically and how it affects those who are poor, those of the diverse background at such a higher level, or even those disadvantaged in the point of aging and the disabled. With that, your discussion board for this week is a little bit different as well. So when you look at your discussion board for the week, you will see that what are some of the issues you address in assignment 3 as you tie together your own look at bioethics. Remember that assignment that is due, and what impact does it have on healthcare research? I am not asking you to respond to each other's, but I am asking you to see what your fellow classmates have found in their own look at bioethics. With that, just one more quick video down the road as we close the course that I will make up the week before we end. I hope you have a great day.